Hi everyone, I'm Jayasuriya. I'm a study abroad advisor and a career coach. I myself pursued my master's at an Ivy League university, and ever since I could crack that admit, I've helped thousands of students get into top 50 universities across the world. So in this video, I will be talking about a crucial segment of applications, that is the statement of purpose. The SOP is super important, especially if you're targeting the top universities, because that is where you can make yourself stand out from thousands of applicants with similar profiles such as yours. However, many applicants struggle with questions such as, how do I start my SOP? How do I convey the right information? How do I structure it? How does the flow go? Etc. etc. To understand what you should write in an SOP, you should first understand what does the admission committee look for in an SOP. In the process of reviewing your application, the admission committee first looks at documents such as your resume, transcripts, test scores, etc. This means by the time they have come to your SOP, they already know crucial data such as your GPA, your GRE, IELTS scores, where have you studied, what have you studied, where have you interned or worked at, etc. etc. When the admission committee reviews your statement of purpose, they want to know things about you beyond what is already mentioned in your other documents. They are looking for answers to questions such as, how have you built passion in this field? How have you pursued that passion during your UG, PG or work experience? What did you learn from those experiences? Why do you want to pursue masters at this junction in your life? What do you want to do with a master's degree in this field? Why have you picked this particular university out of the many options you have? What is your understanding of the master's curriculum, the projects or research experiences that you might get through this program, etc. etc. Now, conveying all these ideas in a single document can get very overwhelming. So in this video, I will be giving you a framework that a lot of students who have gotten into top universities have followed. So to simplify the process for you, I've divided this SOP into 5 segments: introduction, academic background, professional background, goals, and finally, why this university paragraph. So let's get started with the introduction paragraph. The introduction segment is ideally 1 paragraph long. This is the first paragraph that the admission committee will read through, so you should make sure this paragraph is impactful and it should want the admission committee to read further about you. However, many applicants do the mistake of starting their intro with a famous quote or an exaggerated childhood story. Remember, the admission committee does not have the time to read someone else's quotes or made-up stories. They want to know the real you and your interests relevant to the field you're applying to. So in your intro itself, directly get to the point. Convey to them what is it that has inspired you or pushed you to pursue a master's in your field or a particular specialization in your field. Now, this inspiration can come from your UG studies, your project or research work, somewhere from your work experience or any other external experience. You should convey that what that experience is and how it motivated you to pursue a master's education. Now, here's a pro tip. Writing your intro can be time consuming. So you can first finish your rest of the SOP and then at the end write about the intro. Now let's move on to the academic background segment. Academic background can be 3 to 5 paragraphs long. This is where you talk about your academics, your research, projects, internship experiences, etc. Now remember that you don't have to mention everything and anything. This is not a resume. You don't have to write your GPA or GRE scores or each and every course you have pursued or each and every project you have pursued, etc. etc. You should only mention those highlight experiences, those highlight coursework that is directly relevant to the field you are applying to or the specialization that you're targeting to pursue. 1 paragraph could be about your UG degree or the most recent degree you have pursued. Here you can mention those highlight courses that are directly relevant to the field you are applying to. You can write 2 to 3 paragraphs about your beyond the classroom experiences. Right? It could be your research work, it could be your project work, it could be seminars, it could be workshops, internship, etc. Remember, just mentioning them is not enough. What admission committee really likes to know is what have you learned from them and how they have prepared you to pursue a master's degree in that field. The next segment is the professional background. Now, if you're someone with a work experience, you can restrict your academic background to 2 to 3 paragraphs and write more about your professional background. If you're a final year student without any work experience, you can totally skip this section. In this segment, you have to describe about your job role and the projects you have worked on and what are the kind of skills you have gained. These skills could be technical skills or interpersonal skills like communication skills, presentation skills, leadership skills, your commitment to the task, teamwork, etc. etc. Here's another pro tip. While describing about your projects, make sure that you don't get too technical or avoid using too much of a technical jargon that the reader cannot relate to. Try to maintain a balance between technical description and storytelling. Now, through the last two segments, that is academic and professional background, you have spoken about your past. Now let's talk about your future. Let's convey to the admission committee what are the goals you want to pursue after completing your master's degree. This segment could only be one paragraph long, where you talk about both short-term goals, that is what you want to do immediately after your master's degree, and long-term goals, that is what you see yourself doing 5 to 10 years down the lane. Mentioning this is important because it shows to the admission committee that you have a good understanding of what a master's degree will enable you to do in your career. Now, the final and the most crucial part of your SOP is the university segment. This could be 1 to 2 paragraphs long. This is the segment where you convey to the admission committee why this university. The admission committee is really interested to know what about this university stands out for you. They want to see how well have you understood the curriculum, how much have you researched about the faculty members, what is the kind of research or project work you will be pursuing under these faculty members, and what you see yourself doing beyond the classroom at the university. How well will you explore the labs, the clubs, the other resources, etc. Since this segment will come at almost the end of your SOP, you have to make sure that you leave a lasting impression on the admission committee. You have to clearly show them that you have done your research and you're clear about why you want to pursue masters at that particular university. This will end with a very good impression if you're able to do that. Since you'll be applying to many different universities, you can change this one particular paragraph for each university you're applying to and keep rest of the content static. So these are the main segments that you should cover in your SOP. You don't have to exactly stick to the order discussed. You can play around with the order a little bit. However, make sure you convey all the points discussed and that there is a flow across the SOP. Now, coming to the length of the SOP, I recommend it to be restricted to 2 pages and 11 or 12 font size. A maximum word count of around 1000 or 1200 words. This is because you shouldn't make reading the SOP too tedious for the admission committee. Now, some universities mention a word limit of 500 or 750 words. I highly recommend you stick to that word limit. Now, the tone of the SOP should ideally be formal. That is, you have to use formal English and good sentence structure that the average reader can understand. Please do not use complicated English words. Many students do the mistake of replacing simple English words with tough vocabulary words, which honestly will confuse the reader. And it will also make it seem that you're trying too hard to showcase your communication skills. So this is how you structure your SOP. Hope this video gives you some sort of framework to start with. Remember, your first draft is not going to be perfect. It'll at least take 2 to 3 reviews. Make sure you get your SOP reviewed by seniors or experts. At Dr. Raju's, we help you draft very effective SOPs for each and every individual university you're applying to. We give you access to samples of SOPs of students who have gotten into your target university and specialization. So if you're interested and think it would help you, do get in touch with us. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe.